All right, here we go. Number one, never assume your players know, teach them. You've heard that the whole weekend, the whys. Okay, everybody's told you, you should be explaining the whys. You should be confident explaining the whys. Okay, the topic of consistency and range is broad. Very difficult to talk for 45 minutes and get it all done, so we're going to move fast. Okay, I have some additional resources, my YouTube channel. All of this stuff is available online. The truth about secrets, and I told you that there was a secret sauce, right? I actually defined some things, but really the truth is there are no secrets. Okay, it's not about secret sauce, magic drills, pie in the sky, guys. You got to know. It's about knowledge, fundamentals, consistent routines, quality, reps, practicing game speed, discipline, and practice competition. This right here is coaching. This is coaching in one sentence. Okay? This is what you've got to be doing for your players every single day. You do these things right here, not just infielders, okay, but everybody's going to get better at everything they're doing. They're going to be way more confident. So I ask my players all the time, what does consistency look like? What does it look like? What's a number tied to it? What do we use when we talk about infield play to define consistency? And you'll have some of them that, you know, are smart enough to go, it's fielding percentage, coach, fielding percentage. Okay, well, what is fielding percentage? What is a good fielding percentage? Okay, how about for a major league shortstop? What's a good fielding percentage? 960, 980. It's off the charts. Okay, that's great. That's unbelievable consistency. Well, what does that actually mean? Okay, so out of 100 chances, 980 successful field throw. Okay, for outs, it's not 100% accurate definition, but for the purpose of this, that's really what it is. Okay, they're like literally that consistent. I have guys in high school, like varsity players, like in practice, if I hit them 10 ground balls on the clock and they got to be there in 4.2 seconds or less, they're like 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. They either boot it, okay, or they pull the first baseman, you know, and I tell them that that's just a game scenario. So my goal is to raise their consistency. Here are ways that I work on improving their consistency. Yesterday we talked about the throw catch routine. That's real. That's what we do. If you were in here, you saw it. Strong fundamentals. So we talk about the fundamentals. What does a good infielder, what are the actions? What are, you know, the things that we would expect when we're fielding a ground ball? Quality repetitions. I'll talk about that, all of these. Okay, we compete in practice. We execute purposeful drills. We improve our hands and our feet. We have a strong mental game. Just did the PowerPoint right there. Okay, that's fielding in a nutshell. I'm not going to go through. How many of you were in the talk yesterday for throw catch? Okay, so this is a 1-minute summary of that, and I'm going to fly through it because we need more time. I'm going to the next thing. Should have been in the talk yesterday. Top 7 infield fundamentals. Okay, number 1, not even a fundamental, it's a concept. Okay, you've got to be an athlete, not a robot. When we teach in steps, we teach in segments, we break things down in parts, and then they start to become these little step 1, step 2, step 3 kind of guys. Okay, everything is done very free and easy. Okay, you got to remind them of that at all times. Okay, it's about creating angles, maintaining momentum to target. Jack Leggett talked about that yesterday. Choosing the big or the short hop. Jack Leggett talked about that yesterday. So play low to high with flex glove. Okay, one of the biggest things that I see with infielders at the high school level is they don't understand, and Jack was talking about showing what? Who was in here? Showing the glove, 100% of the glove. Okay, in order to show 100% of the glove, you have to have your fingers down. Okay, your hand open, fingers down. So high school guys, they're like this all the time when they're fielding. You know, your better ones are there, but your average guys are here. And they wonder why, you know, like the ball won't go in their glove when it's going really fast, or it kicks off all the time out of their hand. Okay? Play low to high. We always want to play a half glove to a glove below the ball because it's much easier to go up than it is to go down. Okay? So we play low, plus our eyes are down on the fielding level, just like hitting or bunting. We want our eyes behind the ball. Okay? We got to know when to funnel and when to push through. Okay? I just got a little debate on YouTube with a guy the other day, and it just frustrates me to all end. Like, he's like, "Have you seen the video of Ron Washington?" All of it, you know. Those kids aren't doing that in your video. Yeah, well, we weren't working on an in-between hop, because an in-between hop is when you push through the ball. Okay, 85 to 90% of the balls that you field as an infielder, you're going to give when you catch. Just watch the game. I mean, professional infielders aren't fielding 100-mile-an-hour ground balls that they're getting a big hop on and going, shoving their hands out to the ball. Everything is a give. You get an in-between hop, that's when we push through. And we do drills for both. You got to know when to funnel, you got to know when to push through. If they don't know, some will figure it out. The most elite ones will just figure it out, but your average guys won't. When do you use one hand versus two? Okay, when do we field it with two hands? When do we field with one? Anytime we field in what I call zone one, which is in between the feet, okay, we're going to use two hands. And I never put one hand on top of the other. Personally, I don't like it. Nearby, just not on top. Because what's in jeopardy when your fingers, you get a bad hop and take a ground ball, it'll rip your fingernail off. I've had it happen. Had it happen to me, I've had it happen to players. You get that hand in too early inside, and the ball hits the backside of your fingers. Okay, it'll break your fingers. You're done for the year. Okay, top hand needs to be nearby, where it can come on just as fast as it would if you were like this. And to me, this is like being handcuffed. You're like alligator hands. You just want your hands free, right? So top hand nearby. When do we use one hand? Anytime we get outside the framework of our body. We don't reach for balls outside the framework of our shoulders and hips with two hands. We go one hand. It looks freer, it is freer, and you have more reach with one hand than you do with two. Okay? We got to understand this. I get into debate with people all the time. I'm going to get into a little more detail on each of these. Okay? But I'm going to tell you right now, you have to be able to execute fielding and minimum footwork. Okay? It's a two-step pattern. Okay? You field, right, left, throw. Field, right, left, 1, 2, throw. Minimum footwork. You have to be able to do that. Okay? If you have good fundamentals, you can do that. Now, the trick question, do we have to do that every time? No. Okay? No. Your internal clock, Jack talked about it yesterday. All good infield coaches are going to talk about this internal clock. Okay? How do kids get an internal clock? Put a stopwatch on them on a regular basis, and then they'll start to figure out the softer the ball is hit, the more I got to come get it, and maybe the more harder or quicker or whatever I got to get. How much do I range? How fast is the runner? Okay, all of these factors go in, and when you take thousands of ground balls under pressure, you develop an internal clock. So you have, extra steps are a choice. The vast majority of the time, infielders do not execute 2-foot throw patterns. They don't. They take a shuffle. They're going to step through at least one shuffle before they throw, the vast majority of the time. But they can do minimum footwork when they have to. Okay? Quality reps, wall to ball. Okay? I tell my guys all the time, you don't have to have a coach to hit you ground balls. And it's become much more popular here. You guys that follow us on Twitter and other people, there's been a lot of promotion for wall ball, over the last 2 years. A lot of us played it as kids. Fungos and machines, okay, however you can get your reps. Off the bat, and batting practice is critical. Make sure that you allow at least one group, okay, hitting group of time, if not more, to let the guys react to balls up. Don't just fungo them the whole time, okay? And then game speed every rep. We talk about it all the time. Okay, that's one of the hardest things. High school kids make mistakes because they're lazy. They're lazy. College kids make mistakes because they're lazy. People that are lazy, they don't want to move. They let the ball come to them. They let the ball play them. Okay, and the time is ticking on that clock. Okay, when you put pressure on yourself because you've sat back and you've waited and you've bobbled, now you're rushing, and when you rush, you make mistakes. That simple. Okay, here's some quality reps. Tabor, when he was in high school, just using the wall, double play feeds, whatever, just doing all sorts of different reps, flip feed, just working off of the wall with a paddle. Okay. Compete in practice, 4-second feet. Okay, so we literally, if you have a fungo man, I know that they're somewhat expensive, but they are a lot more affordable. Now you can actually get payment plans, okay, and really pay it. They have internal timers that you can set for any time you want, and I would do 4.2 to start with, and we'd work our way down to 4 seconds. So everything that we do in practice in the fall, is on 4-second clock. That's backhands, glove sides, slow rollers, double plays, and every ball is going to get to first base in under 4 seconds. And they learn to operate in this force. So you can do it with a stopwatch, okay? You can do the same thing. But they learn to compete against the clock, and they get comfortable, okay, with their internal clock. Against teammates, elimination games, we do this all the time at camps. You bobble a ball, you throw a ball in the dirt, you pull the first baseman off, that's a point. You don't want points, okay? You don't want points. 2 points, you're done, okay? So literally, like, they're competing against each other in practice or whatever as they're taking ground balls. You know, elimination, it's a pride thing. You start putting competition on the line, okay? Focus goes up, concentration goes up, and when they start performing well in those circumstances, it carries over to the game. Against the coaches, I did this with Coach Scaff all the time. He was my infield coach at UNC Wilmington when I played. We literally, he would hit me fungos and challenge me, and if I could be 10 for 10, clean and throw to first base, he owed me a soda, okay, or whatever, you know. And if I messed up, I owed him a soda. And we would literally make a transfer of a drink. He'd buy me a drink, or I'd buy him a drink. There was something on the line when I was taking those ground balls. And being 10 for 10 is like, that's a level of consistency, right? And he's trying to get me to what? Miss. He was trying to get me to miss. He didn't want to buy me a drink. So he's trying to get me to miss, and I'm showing him, you can't make me miss, okay? You can't make me miss. Now, if it takes a brutally bad hop, okay, that one don't count, okay? But if it's catchable, it counts. These are just simple little things. Here's my guinea pig doing a 4-second clock. You'll hear it in the background, I think. This was at North Hall. He was a sophomore in high school. He was letting me get up in him a little bit there, but you can hear the clock, the 4-second clock, so they're getting there. So here's the first to miss. This is a high spin. That's an extremely difficult play. The machine's shooting a top spin ball. You'll see it come flying in. Okay? And they're having to come through and push through and cut that hop off right there. So first player to miss 2. There we go. That thing will eat your wrists up. You ain't ready. All right, so the big 5. I got this online. These are the drills that we do. Okay, every infielder does them in our program. How we doing on time? Okay, they all do it. Then we do position-specific drills. Okay, and then pregame. I implemented a 10-minute pregame routine this year. That's new to this slideshow. Okay, because we literally do it. I've been teaching it to my players as part of our practice. So when we go anywhere, if we're home or away, okay, after we get loose, and we do our throwing progression, which, by the way, on game day, I don't make the guys get down on a knee, okay? We modify it slightly, you know, and we're just, usually they're standing around, they're sitting in the dugout, okay? Like, we're not watching the other team take infield outfield yet, it's just dead time. Our outfielders, our infielders, our catchers all have a 10-minute routine that they all go do on their own, out in the outfield somewhere, okay? Or in the bullpen for the catchers, where they're preparing themselves other than infield outfit. And what do you know about summer? How much infield outfit do you get in the summer? 0. Okay, so the kids show up, they throw, and then they have to go play. And they're supposed to be showcasing what they can do, right? Okay, but they never prepare to showcase. So you'll see this stuff here in a minute. So the big 5 infield drills, I told you, we knock through this. It takes 15 minutes at the most, sometimes 10 minutes. 3 reps each zone. Zone 1, between the feet. Zone 2 is backhand. Okay, so it's going to be your backhand side, outside your right foot, if you're righty. And then zone 3 is your glove side, out here. It takes 10 minutes, not even 15 minutes. So we're starting off right here with short hop variations. This is Tabor and Will. This is my facility in Georgia. But they're doing a variation of some funnels and some push-throughs. Negative, positive. Okay, so you hear like the different terminology. Funnel, push. Okay, negative, positive. And what you find with elite level infielders is they sometimes will have a neutral position. Like if they're doing short hop drills, so instead of just the ball hitting the person's hand, So I'm doing a short hop drill, and you throw me a short hop. Once the ball hits my leather and I have control, what good is it going to do me at that point to continue to move my glove way away from my body? That's wasted time and puts me in a very awkward position to get back on center. But if you watch a lot of the drills that are done right now online, they're like getting their wrist, their elbow, and we try to keep our shoulder out of it as much as possible. These are the levers that we want when we field more than this one. Sometimes we got to engage our shoulders. But they're like over-exaggerating, and I understand what they're trying to do. They're showing an over-exaggeration, okay, of what it means to push through a ball. And Ron's doing it, and different guys that he's peppering with do varying degrees of push through. But some of them are like extremely pushing through, and these are big leaguers that would never push through that much on just a ball that's literally that hop, just a little bit of an in-between hop. Okay, so well, my point is with this drill, they're using both. Okay, with this fly through. So Will was my starting shortstop when I got to Glen Academy. He's a pitcher at Mercer right now. So you kind of see neutral. They're not really. It might be just an inch or two push through on that. There's a little positive action, not much, more neutral there. So the hop is going to dictate how much you actually push through. All right, 3-step, 5-step. 3-step, 5-step basically is working on lateral range, explosive commitment to crossover steps, okay, getting and reading the angle of the ball. So the way this drill is executed, feeder's down on a knee, and the fielder is rolling it. It doesn't always have to be a roll. Sometimes it can be a bouncer. And you're trying to move the fielder 3 to 5 steps, okay, to the side. They do 5 total reps. They always start with left side, okay? So they do 5 reps. Tabor's goal is to be on time, boom, you know, and he'll probably just sit there like this, just having like really quick twitch muscles getting ready to cross over. But he's not allowed to cross over until Will lets go of the ball, okay? Otherwise, if the guy, you know, the tendency, the flaw when you do this drill is as soon as the guy fields the ball, he immediately wants to start running in the other direction before the feed has actually been made. Well, how are you reading speed and angle if you're just taking off in some random angle to your left? Okay, that defeats the purpose, right? So when we explain the why, you got to explain how the drill's done and what they need to be doing and why they don't need to be doing something else. Because I'm telling you, if you don't do 3-step, 5-step already, the first time they go to their glove side, they're going to throw the ball back and start running in the other direction. Okay, they got to sit there and wait. And they also don't throw. So if you feed me here, boom, I'm crossover, hustle, boom, feel, boom, pop. Okay, I'm not turning my feet to throw. They're making more of a double play type feed right in here, tight, down low, okay? And then they got to be ready to go. They're ready. They can time it up if they want, like a creep, okay? Or they can just sit there with quick twitch, you know, ankles and ready to cross over and go. That's all it is, okay? They're trying to over-exaggerate, fill the ball out front. If they can't get in front of the ball, it's okay. The goal is, you know, to try to get in front if possible and feed it back. So it's a very simple drill where they're working on a crossover. Boom. So Will didn't let it go. We'll see this time. So he's reading speed and angles. I know this is his 5th rep. Start glove side and glove side. So the Aussie drill. With the Aussie drill, you guys see this one. This is kind of like the Ron Washington drill, and it was literally Ozzie Smith in 1998. Decades are getting away from me. He was interviewed, and they're like talking to him about his favorite drill, and he's like, I like to be on my knees, and like the coach pepper me with kind of see Ron Washington doing that. This was Ozzie Smith talking. I was like, that's really cool. I like that. How are we going to do it? Because I can't sit there with all my infielders one at a time and just pepper them, and everybody's going to be standing around. So we're going to throw it to each other. So we created these rules. They create this little fielder's arc around them, which is just a target for the feeder. The feeders are literally learning how to throw from different arm slots, which is really mostly just a posture change. So they're having to drop a little bit here to create more of that normal angle, because the ball doesn't typically come straight down like that, unless it's a high chopper. And then they're picking and popping. One thing I want them doing is staying through the hop once they have control, core, and get rid of the ball as fast as they possibly can. How quick can they make a transition and make an accurate throw? So the pick, which we see in the round Washington drill, is part of it. The pop, getting the transition and getting rid of it, to me, is just as important. But when a person's hitting you, a ball with a fungo, you can't chuck it back at them. So the benefit of having a partner is this right here. And they're not babying it. And my infielders have to have cups on or I won't let them practice. So again, a perfect hop, he's not going to press through. That one, he cut the hop off because it was way more out front, that one too. So you can see more of the positive action, that one too. Those were all in-betweeners, and he had a great push. He pushed through that one. Okay? But when you get a perfect hop that bounces 2 inches from your glove, that one he was kind of neutral on. You guys see what I'm saying? There's no reason just to do this massive push through when you don't have to. Choose your hop. One of my favorite drills right here. We do it random now. We don't do it predictable. So drills are taught what? Simple to complex. Every drill, no matter what position. Simple to complex. Predictable, unpredictable. Okay, it's that sliding scale. When a drill is difficult and unpredictable, okay, that's really, really tough. Okay, and that's where you're trying to get your guys. So we do this unpredictable now, but basically what Will's going to do with Tabor, he just laying the ball up in the air, random distances. I think he's going to start zone 1, so Tabor's going to try to field in between his feet, okay, so he's going to have to read the height and the distance, and he's got to determine where that ball is going to land. So if the feeder feeds the ball, that's going to land right there, and he's all the way back here, and that ball's up in there. He's literally got to read it, be there on the time, and be ready to pop it back. That sounds easy. It's not. Okay, you'll see your infielder like stand there, and boom, 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 the ball's bouncing 3 times. They don't have a good feel for where the hop's going to be. So this literally teaches your feet how to be in the right place for a hop. Okay, after they do zone 1, they go to zone 2, which is backhand zone 3. I'm telling you now, my guys are at a point now we don't do any of the predictable. Everything's unpredictable. So literally, wherever they feed it, if I were to field the ball right here, I pop it and I'm ready to go. He might throw a backhand that lands right back there. I have to drop step, work behind, rake through, boom, pop, and he might throw the next one up there. I got to come get it. Last one, they always throw one that lands short, and they got to come through press through that like high chop. Get ready to throw. Okay, so that's not going to show here. It's going to be more predictable. Again, these are predictable zones. When you're first teaching it, you definitely want to do predictability. They'll have trouble just like that ball just coming to get that ball alone is tougher than you might think. You got the idea. Fly ball drill. How are we doing? Literally, like what's the time? How much time do I have left?
30 minutes.
Yeah? Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so fly ball drill. So, and you guys know Seth Manis? You ever heard of Seth Manis? He was a pitcher in the Cardinals, middle relief guy. Okay, when I was coaching in North Carolina at Richmond Senior High School for the 3 years, we played Pinecrest High School. He was a pitcher. We had them beat in the last inning, and it was a little floater hitting the triangle between second, first, and right. Little floater, game over. Game over. Runner on second and third, tying run on third, winner run on second for them. We're ahead by 1. Floaters hit up for the third out of the game. My second baseman starts kind of drifting, and after watching so many baseball games, I could tell after a couple steps that this is going to be a little tougher than he's acting like, because the wind, the little breeze was pushing towards the foul line, right field foul line. And all of a sudden I could see like the panic in his eyes as the ball kept floating away. It hit off his glove, time run, winner run, we lose. Okay, Seth Manis, I said, that is never going to happen again. Okay, that was like the work we needed that game to win conference. Seth Manis, who ended up pitching East Carolina, was a major pitcher for ECU. Went on and pitched in the Cardinals organization at the big league level. That's who we would have beat. I said, when do we work on these fly balls? When do we work on those in the triangle? We don't. I mean, I'm pretty good with a fungo, and I could probably get about 4 or 5 out of 10, pretty close to where I want it. but it ain't happening. So I said, all right, we got to create a drill where we work on these plays. And that's where the fly ball drill, that's why it's one of the big five, because I'm never losing a freaking game again over that little stupid play that should have been made. So Tabor's going to sit in, as you see. Okay, we always go glove side first. So he's going to, as he turns to throw, really you're supposed to wait till the ball is released before you drop step. Again, how do you know the distance, the angle, and everything before? If you drop step early, then you're really cheating the system. You're not really, and they tend to cheat. They tend to cheat. Like I catch my guys, some of them start running before, you know, I'm like, what? We're not doing anything there. Yeah, they learn how to catch the ball on the run, but that's just part of it. So anyways, they're working back, they're working on their drop step, they're working on their angles, they're working on getting behind the ball if they can. I'm always screaming, tagging, because they'll do the old, this is the outfield and that's the play, you know. And I'm like, no, no, there's a runner tagging. So I'm always literally screaming, tagging. Okay, the infielder, Tabor right here, he should be getting his hands up saying, hit me like he's a cutoff. Get a little bit of momentum going, get the body turned, and make the transition like he's going to make a feed, just to get him doing something other than just catching the ball for the next rep. Okay? This is predictable. You can do it unpredictable. And if you're the coach in the infield right now, and all your infielders are doing this, so you put a tag on that one, I would be really careful. Because they will over-chuck that cutoff man in a heartbeat, and you'll be talking to these guys over here, and the second baseman will do it, and that thing will go right by your head. But as they become better throwers, that happens less and less. So that's 10 to 15 minutes. Outfielders are doing their gig, okay? Outfielders are doing their gig, like we're doing our big five. Outfielders are with the outfield coach, split up into groups, and they're doing their mess, and then the catchers are doing their specific drill work. This is not the 10-minute pregame stuff. This is why we're doing our big five. Then after we finish our big five, the infielders split up to specific drill work, okay? So the middle guys will stay in the middle. They do double play feeds and pivots with me. I'm literally rolling them at the beginning of the year, then I hit fungos, and we're doing flip feed, flip, rocker feeds, rocker, take it yourself. So then I come over here, center baseman, flip, go away, rocker, and then take it yourself, okay? And then we do tags a second. Either the catchers will throw when it's their time to those guys, or I'll just pepper them balls from like right in front of the plate with a fungo, simulating balls coming down. If you're not real good, you might want to be careful with that, especially if your outfielders are out there doing work and you catch them in the back. Third baseman come over. It's very similar drills for both. They're doing picks and tags. So all the third basemen, ninth graders all the way up through 12, form a big semicircle about 15 yards from third base, and they each have a ball. And literally this guy will throw like it's coming from the catcher, okay? And he'll put his tag on, show it to the umpire, and turn, throw it back to him. Next guy throws the ball in the dirt or a tough catcher, puts the tag on, boom. However you want to do it. If you want him to straddle, if you want him to be just in front, let the ball come. However you want him to do it. Okay, but that's what they're doing right here, picks and tags. They're doing just picks. They're at first base. They're not doing tags. They can actually simulate a tag on a bad throw if it takes them up the line, but they're really just doing picks. So they have a semicircle going around first base, each guy with a ball doing picks. Relays to the plate. So now they're in foul territory. Usually, if I want more space for the middle infielders, and one guy actually is an outfielder, one guy is a relay, one guy acts as the catcher, because the catchers are usually, you got to make sure you're out of the way of these guys. So one third baseman throws to the relay throws to the catcher. They're just working, and then they alternate around. So they're all getting that chance, and they try to make it tough on each other. Throw some in the dirt, some in the air, but they got to make that relay, right, to the plate. Pop-ups in foul territory. So obviously, they're doing the same thing. One guy becomes a feeder in by the plate in foul territory, out of the way of the catchers, whatever they're doing, and they're chucking balls up by the dugout, where you got to go feel for the railing, lean in, make the catch. One's back over their head down the line. One's they got to come in by the fungo circle and make catch. They're working each other here. Slow roller variations, but they do the same. It's all a big rotation by position, okay? And then they do deep double plays into power position. So they start the double plays with feeds, but they obviously don't throw to second because the middle infielders are doing their stuff, okay? You can see the sequence here is the same We add fielding bunts in for the first baseman. Okay, if you want to add fielding bunts, you can modify this any way you want. So literally after 35 minutes, we've done the big five, we've done all this skill work, the outfielders have done all their mess, catchers have done all their mess, and this is 9 through 12, we're all doing it together. Okay, it's just defensive specialty work by position. And we're doing it about 3 times a week.